Hi, everybody. It's we're talking hospitality with the Recruiter Guys. Today is our guest, George Joseph with Common Bond, and we are so happy to be here.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you,
for
George?
having me. I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to do podcasts.
Yeah, ours is a little different because it's less school, but we do have fun.
Yeah.
So, George, you bought or you became involved in 2016?
2015. So yeah, you could say the last day of 2015. So 2016 is right.
Yeah. And you were just an investor, but then you became involved.
Yes. I had a partner, Johnny Caraba, and Johnny came to me a few years into our growth and said he wanted to simplify his life. And so I guess I didn't realize I had two choices, either to sell out with him or buy him out. And I ended up buying him out and started running the restaurants. And then obviously the pandemic hit. So I don't know, it was a smart move. I think he was smarter than me on that one.
Johnny Caraba?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. But you started with one, I believe it's on Montrose.
It's in 1706 Westheimer, corner of Westheimer and Dunleavy. It's the original one.
Right.
And now there's 11 locations, and the 12 in development or in construction, and 13 and 14 have been inked. That should open.
How many when Johnny left? When you took over, how many were there?
I think there were only two, or actually only one when Johnny was there. Johnny, we had another one on lease, but it was not finished construction. So basically, it's been me pushing the ball up the mountain.
Sounds like you're doing a good job with that.
We'll see.
God, you have 11 and 12 on the horizon.
Yeah, 12 is in construction. It's a drive-through at Eldridge and near Memorial. And then we've inked a wonderful deal with the folks at Metro National.
Right.
They have a lawn space that they've created behind Ciro's and next to Hotel Zaza in their office building and their apartment building. And it's called The Lawn. And they're building us a 1,300 square foot building that is basically like grab and go and coffees, pastries that they come to the window. It's really a beautiful space. And then they have three office buildings behind the Memorial City Mall that will be in the middle one with a beautiful terrace. They're redoing all the buildings. So we're really excited about 13 and 14 because it's they're basically want us to be there and helping us to get set up. And then their hope is that we'll have a full service restaurant in their mall, right outside their mall where they tore down the Sears, but that's to be determined.
Well,
That's the Ion.
That's the Memorial City Mall.
Okay.
The Ion's a different. Ion's the old Sears
Right.
Midtown. This is Memorial City.
Got
We're
it.
trying to stretch out our reach.
The grab and goes have got to be kind of perfect with what's been going on with pandemics. I've got to think that just makes sense.
Yeah, it is. It's been a nice addition. We opened our first one basically in May of when the pandemic started. So it's almost coming on 2 years at 601 Heights. It was the old Lee's Chicken and Donuts. It was the old Church's Fried Chicken. So it was a perfect building for us to do our first one. And so since then, we've rolled out quite a bit of those locations.
So when you took this over, did you say, "Oh, I'm going to build 12"?
No, Gary, what happened was, so the original chef, Roy Schwartzapfel, was an amazing guy. He was a visionary. He had from Houston, but he trained in New York, trained in Europe, and wanted to open basically Common Bond in Houston and create something like we've done. But when he designed it, he designed too small of a kitchen, which is so common in restaurant business. And he was doing too many things. Just to bake bread takes a lot of space. And so when we bought Common Bond, it was probably 80% pastries and 20% savory. And Johnny and I made a choice to basically create a commissary. And we moved into a commissary and took out the bread and then eventually took out the pastries and the entremets and the cakes. And so we can expand our savory menu. And what people don't realize now, even to this day, is that we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. in a full savory menu. So now our sales are basically 50% savory and 50% bread and entremets and pastries and coffee. So it's been quite a transformation. You know, in hindsight, could you have figured out a way to rearrange the kitchen so you had full kitchen and only had one location? There are days I really wish I would have kept that idea. But once you open a commissary and you move all that talent out, the good news is the quality is the same at all our locations, but you have a lot more expense and you have to provide more products. So that's why we, in the middle of the pandemic, we were right in the middle of our growth strategy.
Yeah, that was a tough time, but you've come out and you've opened, gosh, I mean, I didn't know you had opened that many.
Yeah, it's still that last variant actually seemed like it was harder than some of the beginning of the pandemic, but now we're back on the other side. People feel more relaxed and sales are coming back strong again. And we did a lot of, the good news about during the pandemic is we've really started to pivot for takeout, delivery, curbside, like a lot of people. But since we're fast casual, it seems like we've done better than most in that area.
Have you, are you going to go outside of Houston?
We don't know that. You know, obviously in the state of Texas, you have so many people in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth. So I'd love to potentially see that. But right now we're having fun in Houston, and Houston's a big area. I mean, it's like we get requests all the time on our website. Can you come to Clear Lake? Can you come here? Can you come there? It's like, yeah, I wish we could. I wish we could wave a wand, but
Yeah, would you come to Willis?
Willis, yeah, we'll go to Willis, Texas.
Do you do a lot for events as well? So are people taking cakes out and pastries for different weddings and all that as well?
Yeah, we have a most amazing cake artist named Sarah Jones. She's just recently been on the Disney Channel for a show called Foodtastic, and she does the most amazing wedding cakes, but even special occasion cakes. She's really a true sculptor, cake artist. But yeah, we have box lunches. We can cater. We can do a lot of different things outside the doors, which is the area we're really trying to expand on, as well as doing e-commerce for the state of Texas. We're trying to roll that out as well, because we believe our product is so good. And once people try it, they love it. They love our macarons. They love our pistachio croissants. They love our cakes. They love our entremets. They love our, our food, our salads and foods as well. So it's the matter of us executing at the highest quality at multiple locations.
So what was your background pre-Common Bond?
Pre-Common Bond, my whole adult life's been in the alcohol and drug rehabilitation business. And in that business, you have full service cafeterias, because the people that live in these programs typically stay 30 days or so. And so I was used to food service. I just wasn't used to the retail part of food service. So it's been interesting how to reach our demographic, which has been mostly females. We skew really well to females 35 to 45, 30 to 45 in that age range. So, learning social media and doing those kind of things for your outreach has been really interesting to learn.
So is that something where they come in for pastries and coffee and things of that nature, as well as full meals?
Yes, I mean, for our restaurants, everybody has a uniqueness about them. They may come in and get a full meal and then take pastries to go. Some may come in and have their pastries and their coffee. Some may just come in for an entremet and have a nice glass of wine. It just depends on the consumer. But we see. I was just looking at the numbers today. I mean, we see probably, or at least we have credit card processing 4,000 or 5,000 people a week come through our restaurants.
Wow.
Well, you are, everybody knows Common Bond in Houston, and I'm a Houston guy, even though I live in Willis.
Good.
Everybody knows Common Bond.
That's a goal of ours, that they get the word out, because we were such a kind of an inner loop secret, and people would do reviews and come from other parts of the country and other parts of the world. But as we've tried to expand our reach, that's been important to us, because we have a brand new restaurant we opened in July during the pandemic, coming up on, I guess, 2 years this July. But we had people driving in from the Woodlands, and I met them one time in the restaurant in Westheimer, and I'm like, it was a nice little family. And I was just talking to them. I said, oh, I don't know how it came up. They were from the Woodlands. And I'm like, do you know we have a restaurant right outside of the Woodlands? Like, oh, we didn't know. So it's still, even though our name is out there, it's still educating the public on where we are, what we offer at some places. Because some of the drive-through, if you go to a drive-through and you think you're going to get the full meal, you're not going to get that. But you can get our Texas Club sandwich, you can get all the coffees, all the pastries, but the full service. And then we have now a fine dining downtown. So it's educating the community on all the different brands and all how we operate concepts.
Okay, question. Where are you in the Woodlands?
we're not too far in Willis, I guess. So it's, where the Exxon, they have this whole HP and Exxon, they've created this area called City Place.
Right.
It's just south of Woodlands, right off of 45 and Grand Parkway. And so we're in City Place, and we're in I got to the party there early, I think, because it was just under construction. But we're right on the corner across from their beautiful park area, lawn area, in a kind of catty corner across the street from the Marriott Hotel they have there.
All right, good.
And
So
second question, at
Yes.
that location, can I get those macaroons? Because I
Yeah.
saw them on your website and they're just gorgeous.
Yes, absolutely. That's one thing. Any Common Bond, a drive-through or full service or fine dining, you can have your macarons. They are
Now,
there.
when you say fine dining, what is that?
So in downtown, in the Bank of America building, they have an area called Understory. And
Right.
right above Understory is our full service, 3,900 square feet, no, actually 4,900 square feet restaurant. And the way it's laid out is we have the bakery part that is basically open till 4 o'clock, and the full service bakery with the same thing you'll get at Montrose or any other Common Bond with the full kitchen. Then at 4 o'clock, it basically converts to the other side of the restaurant, which is the full service fine dining, seafood towers, and filet steaks, and full lobster, poached lobster appetizer and things like that, and a full service bar and full wait staff.
And they're all called Common Bond, regardless of macaroons or lobster.
Not necessarily, no. So the drive-throughs and the grab and goes, we call them Common Bond on the go.
Got it.
And the one downtown, we call it Common Bond Brasserie. And so people are kind of leaning toward, and I'm probably leaning toward, call it a CB Brasserie. But we still want to have the name Common Bond because people know us as quality, high quality. But it's how to differentiate the brand. So I'm actually working with a branding company now to how to help educate the community that On the Go provides these things, the bistros have these things, and then the brasserie has these things.
So we have our person that works with our social media. You have 30,000 followers.
Yeah, 36, I think. We're trying to get to 35, 36,000 followers. Yes, absolutely.
How?
I just, they just keep joining. In fact, we got hacked right toward the early part of the pandemic, and we lost several thousand of them. So we've had to build them back from that.
Seriously?
That several thousand we lost because people were like, it's I don't know how the guy did it, but we finally got our site back. We lost a lot of our pictures, unfortunately, but yeah, we have 36,000, and hopefully we'll get to 40 soon and do a 40,000 cake giveaway.
Well, Gary, all they have to do is put those pictures of those macaroons on there, and that alone is going to take care of that. I know how you did it.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of learning, because right now with social media, those reels, videos are embedded in the post. So we try to post every day, and then in that we're learning now how to do the reels, or to start doing more reels, which is more action-based stuff, because obviously you could just take so many pictures of food, but some of the activities and things that make it more fun, like we can't find the footage, but we had one where our pistachio croissant from the beginning to the baking to the coming out, we did a video of it, and it was like the most views we've ever had. Excuse me, was that pistachio croissant.
Wow.
Oh, the pistachios.
That sounds really good. So I'm really curious. I love the name Common Bond, and I
Yes.
was reading the site, the story about that, and bringing everyone together.
Yeah.
How do you do that other than the name within your restaurants?
Well, I think it's the love for food. You know, one thing I like about, especially the first one in Montrose, is that any day you could be sitting in there and hear different languages of different people. We're very international. A lot of people from Europe say this is the most European bakery I've ever found in the United States. So I think it's the matter of the environment, hopefully our employees making them feel like it's at home, and the food, you know, bringing people together.
I actually worked with the Hard Rock Cafe back in the 80s when there was only like 2 or 3. And they would just bring people over to a table and sit them down in a table where other people were and say, do you mind sitting here? And that was Isaac Tigert, and that was his whole, it was just everybody, you know, be together. And I loved it. I actually loved working for that company.
Yeah, we had actually a family table at our Montrose location when we took it over. And we actually we moved it out because we needed more seating, because in a family table, it takes more space than you could put smaller four tops. And so that table was actually in our commissary. It's for our employees when they go on break. They actually use our old family table from the restaurant. And I like that when we were able to put people at together on a table, but we needed more spots, because on the weekends, I don't know if you've been there, but we have lines out the door. And you want to help people along, because some people will drive by and just say, I'm not waiting in that line. And obviously some people wait in line because it's got lines.
So what do you do when you're not common bonding?
You know, right now, Gary, I'm really into pickleball. I don't know if you've tried pickleball yet, but it's so much fun.
Well, my friend has she's in Austin, but she just had knee surgery like I did. So neither one of us are pickleballing. But she has a pickleball area in her backyard.
Yeah, it's the most popular racket sport by far from anything else going on right now. It's exploding all over the country. I'm not sure about the world, but all over the country. I just got back from Colorado, and it's Steamboat Springs, and they have indoor pickleball, and it was full of people playing. We played twice while I was there, and it was great to see all the different people.
We're going to Colorado in a week?
Yep, we are.
Yeah, we're going to go Fort Collins.
Well, there's pickleball going on. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hiking in the snow.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Well, if you want to warm up, usually all these Colorado cities is what I'm understanding and that was a public course or play operation. They have all covered tennis and pickleball for the winners.
Wow. I've never played it.
Yes.
I just, like I said, I had recent knee surgery, so golf is back in my life.
Oh, good. Well, golf's fun too. Basketball I play, but what I love about pickleball is that it's basically ping pong on a small portion of a tennis court with a net, and it's typically 4 people. You could play one-on-one, but it's very difficult. But 4 people, and you only go to 11 points, and so because of that, it's very entertaining, and you're close to each other. It's not a big distance, so you kind of can chit chat and talk trash, and it's to me it's more fellowship. And the people I play with, sometimes we'll rotate different people to play with different people. And in tennis, if you have like a 5, like a really good player, and a 1, is not worth it. But in pickleball, you could have a 5 and a 3 or a 1 as a team playing against 2 2s or 2 3s, and it's really fun and competitive. And so I've seen people in their 70s playing. I mean, it's just, it's been a wonderful. I've seen kids, 16-year-old teenagers playing that are really good at it. So it's been fun and really enjoyable for me.
I watched it on TV the other day. It's the
Yeah.
first time I've ever, because everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting. Do you know why they call it pickleball?
I don't know the history, and people have mentioned it, but I'm not sure why they call it pickleball. Guess I should look at the history.
It's kind of funny. So, are you having fun now?
I'm having a lot of fun. I have an amazing leadership team, an amazing chef, pastry chef, savory chef. We just hired our first what do you call it, purchasing person, because obviously with everything going up, supply chain issues, we needed that person. I have a good feeling that we're at a point where our growth is, we're catching up with our growth and really starting to get into a nice groove. And, quality is always the most important thing. So I feel like we've kept our quality, even though we've grown. And a lot of times that's what you give up when you grow, as fast as we have.
So did you think you'd have 12?
12 locations?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I had a vision of more, but I didn't know it'd be 12 or 14 or maybe more. Who knows?
So what other
That's a lot. Go ahead.
That's all.
Sorry.
No. I'm just curious. You were talking a little bit about the purchasing person. What
Yeah.
other things did you do to get through? Hopefully we're through the pandemic. What things did you do to get through it?
The most interesting thing, and it was kind of a God thing, on the Friday before the governor shut down the dining rooms, the Friday before, Uber Eats,
March 15th, 14th?
yeah. So whatever that Friday was, Uber Eats had asked for an appointment, and I said, it's not worth it for us. No. I'm from a special part of Uber Eats. We get so many Common Bond requests. I have the authority to negotiate. I said, okay. So it was on Friday. We were going back and forth negotiating to try to make it worth our while, worth her while, make it a win-win. She said, okay, we finally agreed on something. She says, I'll send our photographer in a few weeks to take your pictures of your food and we'll put it on our app and all this kind of stuff. Well, fast forward, he shuts us down. I think it was on a Tuesday. We're calling her right away and said, look, we got the pictures. Let us send you the pictures. Get us up on your app, because we had never dealt with DoorDash or Uber Eats. And we never really did curbside. In fact, a lot of days, because we're so busy, that we would not even answer the phone. And so we didn't really do a lot of takeout, because, we had to take care of the people there. So the one most amazing thing is how we flipped. And even to today, I think we're still at about 50% out the door, takeout, delivery, curbside, and 50% inside. So that has been a great game changer for us to learn and to be more creative in that area.
And that's what's been amazing, how during the pandemic, how operators just figured out how to do business a different way. Yep. And still take care of their guests and their customers, but stay in business. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. I applaud. I don't know about the other states, but Texas operators were amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people learn. I thought there would be a lot more closings. Obviously, there've been a lot of closings, but in Houston, especially, we've seen a lot of influx of other parts of the country that are people coming to Houston because I guess they hear that we like to eat. And so every once in a while I try to push that support local, but we have a lot of outside competition that's coming into Houston.
Well, they say that if you want to create a new restaurant concept, go to Houston or Dallas.
Yeah.
Because everybody, they're just people they like to go out and eat in Houston.
Yeah, we do, man, I tell you. And obviously it runs up to labor because we're all stretching for good people. And so to me, the culture, trying to have the best culture that we can, we pay weekly, we try to do things that are simple, but, wise things to make our employees feel good about their work, things like that. So
Yeah, I know,
it's
I
been
know
interesting
some of
time.
your employees and they're very happy.
Good.
And gosh, we so appreciate you being a part of this today. It's
That's
and I'm so happy that I met you through Emily
yep.
Durham
Yep.
and at the GHRA event, but I'm also a fan and a customer, and
Thank you.
we just appreciate everything that you're doing for our community.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and it's been fun, and I appreciate all you're doing because, obviously the restaurant industry has taken a lot of whacks of people leaving our industry because it's hard work. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it is, if you're people oriented and you love people, it's a great industry to be in. It's fun. It's fast paced, that your time flies by. And so even though it's been a pandemic, we still want people to enjoy their work. And I know you help match people to their best place, best position, and the best company that fits.
Well, we tried, but yes, you're right. It's an industry that I totally love, and I know Carrie does too, and you do too, obviously. But it's we're coming back, and we'll be back, and we'll be forever.
Yep.
That's so. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're talking hospitality with the recruiter guys, and thank you so much for your time.